Hello, class. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes. All right. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Give me just one moment to do attendance. Excuse me. All right. Hyunjin, what's what's your English name? Oh, I lost you. Never mind. I don't know where. Is that Jong Hyuk? Mhm. Okay. That's right. Okay. Oh, actually. Okay. Looks like I got everybody. Sorry, June. Yes, I just understood. I just picked up on that. Thank you for that. All right. All right, there we go. All right, class, let me get you into your, no, I don't think we need groups today. No, we don't. Let me pull up the syllabus, so let's take a look at it. I don't think we need the groups today, actually. Here we go. That's not the right syllabus. It's this one. So today, today is the 26th, so it's just Unit 6 vocab and writing 3 review. Okay. So pretty simple day. Might even be a little shorter for some of you. So I did want to say actually about writing 3. You all did very, very well. I've been, not that I should be surprised, but because you all seem like very good students, so it's not a shock, but um, I guess what I mean is like, it's very hard to do writing already, and doing it through these online classes is really hard. It's hard for me to teach it. It feels hard for me to teach it, and so it must be hard for you to learn it. But somehow you are doing amazing. So I just want to say well done to everybody. I was very happy with the writings you gave me, and I'm very happy of all the effort and time you're putting into this. So thank you so much for that. Okay, so yeah, just Unit 6 vocab, and then we'll go ahead and get to the writing 3 review. So let me pull that up. I think this is it. Okay, yep, this is it. Okay. So you're going to want to go to kahoot.it for this. Actually, let me hold on. Go to that. Hold on, second class. Okay. Got to. It's okay, Jamie. No worries. So we're still waiting on 8 more students. Ow. Ow. Does anybody need help? We're still waiting on 3 more students. Or 2 more students now. Three more students now. We'll wait. Oops. We'll wait 1 more minute. Um, so if you need help, please ask me. I'll be right back, class. I'm just going to grab some water. I hit the mute button. I'm sorry, class. Can you hear me now? Ah, okay. I guess I bumped. There's a little button on here. I guess I bumped it. Okay. All right. That's good. Good. All right. Sorry about that, class. Looks like some of you, I think some of you got distracted, so you missed that question. Sorry about that. But Funny Bear is up top. Gentle Unicorn, Silver Swan third. Nicely done. The blank was nervous to testify. I can't see this. Testify about what she had seen during the robbery. A witness, right? Witness. So some students chose a subject. The 3 students chose subject, which isn't exactly wrong. I can't say it's wrong, but I would say witness would be a better choice, because when we're talking about testifying, testifying is like giving your story or giving your answers to questions. So if you ever watched like a movie about a prosecutor, the prosecutor will talk to somebody like somebody who sees the crime. That would be a witness, and the witness has to testify. They have to give their honest answers or their honest story. Okay. All right. So let's see. Ooh. Kind Oryx. I don't know how to say that. Kind Oryx moved up 8 spots. Funny Bear still on top. Gentle Unicorn, Silver Swan still in second and third. Nicely done. Many parents blank theory when governing their children, yet I use a more pragmatic approach. So pragmatic means like more direct, more simple, direct. And governing just means like making rules or making, yeah, I would say making rules for their children, right? Ah, yes, rely on. So rely on theory. And it sounds weird to say rely on theory. What they mean is, what this means is rely on uh, ideas when uh, not punishing, but like trying to make their children, trying to teach their children well, right? Or try to teach their children to be good. Like that's what we mean when we say governing or leading their children. All right, so next one is, oh wait, no changes there. But three people got bonus points. They're getting bonus points right now. The Center of Disease Control staff blank that another Chloria, I can never say this. I know, I always forget how to say this. Chlora, outbreak was inevitable. Chloria. Yeah, Chloria. Okay. So hypothesized, right? So that was the only one that works because that's well, the other 2 are verb phrases, but yeah. So hypothesized is like guessed. They guessed that there was another outbreak. Ooh, Gentle Unicorn moving up. Same with you, Silver Swan. Nicely done. Funny Bear. Ooh. Sorry to see you go so quickly. Scientists used fossils and other evidence to blank that an evolutionary process did occur. All right. Yeah, to prove, right? So they used the fossils to prove or to show that evolution happened. Oh, knowing zebra, getting those bonus points. Nicely done. Nicely done. Oh, funny bear, back in the third spot, top 3. Nicely done. Silver swan still hanging in there. Algebra students struggled with the blank word problems because they didn't understand them. So these are like math problems, but there's no numbers. They just write the problem like a story. If you know what word problems are just like a story that have numbers in them. Yeah, complex word problems. Complex word problems. Okay. And not a lot changed there. Funny Bear's getting into second, moving up quick, but Gentle Unicorn is going fast and far with it. Okay. Land reform, blank, a great change in the lives of the common people. So usually land reform means giving land to people or changing who can own land. But usually it means giving land to people. That happened in Korea, actually. Brought about a great change in the lives of common people. Okay, I have a quick question for everyone in the Zoom chat. When did Korea have a change? When did Korea, or let's change this. When did the Korean government make a land reform change? So I'll give you a hint. It happened after a big event. Does anybody know? I just think this is an interesting question because a lot of people say that this is what helped Korea become so developed and modern and so successful. At least that's after Olympics. It would be before Olympics. Yes, after the Korean War. After the Korean War. Nicely done, Sana. Nicely done. That's what I heard. So I heard this from a news podcast. I don't know if it's true. I didn't really research this, but I heard this from a news program. So I'm guessing it's somewhat true. I don't know about, maybe they did it again after the Olympics. I'm not really sure. Or maybe in the 1970s. I don't know, Shiyoung or Eunkyung. You might be right, but I know about the one after the Korean War. Okay. Ooh, Gentle Unicorn. Nicely done. Getting those bonus points. Wow, Gentle Unicorn getting a lot of points, actually. And, ooh, Mighty Lizard. Welcome to the top 5. You too, Knowing Zebra. Nicely done. Her blank that personality is based on genetics was discredited by other findings. So discredited means it loses its value. It's no longer trusted. Yeah, they're a theory, right? So that we get it's like saying we get our personality from our DNA, right? That doesn't really make sense. Okay. Wow. Some movement in the top 5, but nothing major there. According to the police, road rage was the key blank behind the accident. So road rage is a feeling people get. It's like an angry feeling people get when they drive. If any of you have driven a car, this is the feeling. You could probably have this kind of feeling when you're walking around the streets. It would be a little different. Not quite the same, but yeah, factor. According to the police, road rage was the key factor behind the accident. All right. Ooh, Gentle Unicorn. Wow. Crushing it. Not a lot of changes here, though. Knowing Zebra, moving up really fast, though. Going for that second spot. I blank hand sanitizer to my hands every time I exit the restroom. So we probably see a lot of this stuff, right? We see a lot of this stuff a lot these days. You know, the alcohol. Like when you go to the buses, you can see it on the buses. Apply, yeah, apply. So apply just means put on, right? I put on hand sanitizer, or you could say I use too, but apply, put on would be better. Ooh, Speedy Possum, making it to the top 5, and Inspired Egert moved up 3 spots. Well done. Just as the girl thought she was over the blank snub, the popular kids ignored her again. So a snub is like a way of ignoring someone. So snub and ignore, kind of the same meaning. Initial, yeah. And so the hint here is we can say snub and ignore, the same things, right? You snub someone, you can ignore someone, but they did it again. So the hint here is this must be the first time, the initial snub. So altruistic is actually kind of nice, like it's being good. And compassionate, it's also being good. Complex doesn't really make sense there. Okay, let's move on. Let's see. Ooh, Funny Bear. I like that name, Funny Bear. And getting the bonus points. As soon as I began a life of crime, the voice in my head always told me I would blank in jail. End up. And I'm not sure if this expression or a voice in my head. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of this before. A voice in my head. So a voice in my head is kind of like a thought, but it's not quite the same. You know, when we're thinking, sometimes it feels like it can feel like somebody's talking to you when you're thinking very deeply, or some thoughts feel like when you have some strong thoughts, it can sound like a voice telling you. We often kind of say this is like the angel and the devil on our shoulders, right? So we're hearing voices in our head telling us this is a good thing to do, this is a bad thing to do, right? That would be an example of a voice in my head. We call this the consciousness, our consciousness, like it's kind of the things a lot of people say it's like the voice of their parents, right? Telling them don't do that or do that. Okay. Let's see, Mighty Lizard, staying in there. Speedy Possum, speeding on up. Ooh, Funny Bear. And Silver Swan really fighting it out for a second spot there. A healthy lifestyle is the blank of everyone, since we have the power to eat whatever we like. Responsibility, right. And this is also an interesting expression, have the power to do something. I just want to point this out because it's more about, it's explaining that we have the choice, or we have the ability to choose. Yeah, that's how I try to explain that. Like we have power to eat, we have the power to choose, or we have the choice, essentially, is what it means. Silver Swan, getting those bonus points. 5 answers in a row, nicely done. The first atom bomb, or nuclear bomb, was successfully tested in which US state? New Mexico, New Mexico. So if it happened in Washington, D.C., there would be no U.S. government anymore. So that would be very bad. And the key here is tested, right? We didn't, in the U.S., we didn't just drop it on Japan first. We blew it up in our own country first, and then we did it in Japan. Okay. Not a lot of changes there. During times of great tragedy, blank people reach out to help those in need. Compassionate, right? Compassionate. You could say responsible people. I mean, but again, compassionate would be a better choice because compassionate people are caring people, and caring people help other people, right? So responsible kind of doesn't work because usually we say we are, when we say we are responsible, it means like we are just helping ourselves or doing what we need to for ourselves. Okay, so Gentle Unicorn, nicely done, still on top. Ooh, Zany Lizard, getting 3 bonus points, or getting some bonus points. I don't know how many bonus points. Ooh, Groovy Hamster, making to the top 5. It's a big deal. My sister's voice is indistinguishable from my voice, blank to my mother. So indistinguishable, meaning they sound the same. So indistinguishable means like not different. According to, yeah, according to. So and that's excuse me, that's an expression, according to. So according to means like based, well, just means according to. I can't think of another synonym for it. I'll come back to that. I can't think of one right now. All right. Ooh, Groovy Hamster staying in there. Although the mark on the table was blank visible, the CEO refused to accept it. So the mark could be a scratch. This is probably a scratch. The mark is probably a scratch. Barely visible, right. All right. No big changes there. Well done, everybody. Because John is blank, he has decided to spend 2 years of his life volunteering in Africa. Mm. Altruistic, right. Altruistic. So the key to, or the hint here is the word volunteering, right? So, you know, when you volunteer, you're doing something for everyone else or for other people, right? And so being altruistic means doing something for other people or thinking of other people. Let's see. No big changes, but Joyful Eagle is moving up fast. Nicely done. Leonardo da Vinci's 15th century mural, The Last Supper, is located in which Italian city? I think I spelled Da Vinci wrong, did I? Milan. Yeah, Milan. Yeah, a lot of people think Rome because there's a lot of art there, but Milan has a few good pieces. A lot of Da Vinci. A lot of Da Vinci stuff can be seen in Milan. No big changes there. Groovy Hamster. Wow. Into third place. IKEA, the ready-to-assemble furniture company, has its headquarters located in what country or which country? The Netherlands. Yeah, this is very confusing because everybody knows they're from Sweden. They started in Sweden. Excuse me. They started. Yeah, sneeze again. Okay. They started in Sweden, but they have their headquarters. So headquarters is like their main office. Yeah. So it's probably in the Netherlands because there's probably some sort of benefit, like maybe they pay less in taxes, or it's better because they can sell more products in the EU. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just guessing. All right, so Gentle Unicorn, you got first. Speedy Possum, you're second, and Groovy Hamster, nicely done, third place. So a lot of extra love to you three. And for now, we are finished with that. So let me close that. And let's just go ahead and look at the syllabus. So there's a few things, I think, oops, this isn't the right one. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so first, I've got a few questions before we finish. So, or well, before we do the writing review. What is today's homework? Nothing, right, right. Or somebody said project outline. Yeah, I guess you could say project outline. Let me hold on. Let me move my. Okay, where are we at? 26. Yeah, I guess you could say if you. A lot of students have already sent me their project outline. So yeah, don't forget to do the project outlines if you haven't done that already. And I will. I believe I sent you Unit 6. Yeah. Also, do you have to come to class on Thursday? No. Right. Can you come to class on Thursday? Yes, right. So remember, I will send a message on Kakao and ask if you want to join. If not, then you can just watch the e-class video. Okay, so I'm gonna put that video up today or tomorrow. Okay, and I think that's it. Yeah. And if you, because next Thursday, or let's see, next Monday, or next Tuesday, you have to submit writing 4. I just want you to remember that if you have questions, you can always ask me over email anytime. And also, I should be clear, if you have very complicated questions, we can talk on Zoom too. Okay, so if you feel like it's too hard to send the question over the email, and if I'm available, because it's a little bit harder to answer questions on Zoom because I'm not always. Maybe I can do it on my phone. It'd be very hard. It would be better if I can't. I don't know if I can really do it on my phone, because usually I have to have my computer open so I can look at different documents to see what everybody needs. But if I can't find that, or if I just want you to know it's available, right? So we can maybe schedule a time to talk over Zoom if you need extra help. And that's it. Oh, so I did want to talk about this real quick. The video guide bonus point challenge. So for the project, your group must submit all of your videos as one video, right? However, I can show you how to do this, but I want to give you all the chance to get some bonus points. So let me explain. So I will give 20 bonus points to any one student or a group, or let's say 2 students or 2 students. That's 10 for 1 student each. That wants to make a presentation to show students how to make a video, to put your group's videos together as one video. So this is, to be clear, this is just like, I will show you how to do it, but if anybody wants to, so if one student wants to make this video, or not make this video, sorry, make this presentation to show the class how to take everyone's videos and put them together into one video and then put that on YouTube for the project, you can get 20 bonus points. Or if it's 2 students, if you work with a partner to make the presentation, then it would be 10 points for one student, 10 points for another student. So if it's like, if it's, let's say it's me, let's say I'm a student and I have a partner and we make the presentation, I would get 10 points, my partner would get 10 points. And to be clear, this presentation doesn't have to be long. In fact, 5 minutes or less would be good. But but it has to be less than 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes is really long. That's a really long presentation. So I don't think you need that much time. I think 5 minutes should be good. If this opportunity, this chance for bonus points, anybody can get this. But if you want to do this, you need to email me after class today. Okay. The first student or 2 students, or group that emails me can have the chance to do this. So are there any questions about this for the video guide bonus point challenge? The bonus points are just go to your total class points. So it won't change your project grade. It'll just change your total class grade. Good question, Sayan. Yes, so you will do the presentation in front of the class on Zoom. So you will have to turn on your microphone and camera to do it. And you will have to share the screen on your computer so you can point to the PPT or PDF that you made. Yeah. So it'll be like this presentation will be like you're kind of leading the class, or you're acting like the teacher for 5 minutes. And I'm gonna also show the class another way to do this. So if nobody does it, it's not a problem. If nobody wants to do it, I understand, because it's got to be hard, right, to try to do this. I just want to put it out there. I want to try this because often what I think is an easy way to do something, a lot of students will not find it easy. So yeah. And I'm pretty sure I messaged you. There's one other thing that that I just remembered that I want to ask. I think I told, actually, let me just check our Kakao chat. I'm pretty sure I put it in our Kakao chat. Thursday. That's it. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I just want to make sure everybody saw this. I put this in our Kakao chat. I'm just putting, this was in the Kakao. So does anybody have any questions about that? If you're doing some sort of reporting, if you're doing the reporter role in the project, you don't need to go outside because we've had all these problems with coronavirus coming back, right? It's more important for you to be safe. Oh, good question. So somebody asked me, does the outline need to be sent before class or before 2 p.m. on Thursday? So the answer is no, but it needs to be sent before Friday. Okay, since we don't have like a normal class time on Thursday, you need to send it before Friday. So I guess I need to get it by 11:59 p.m. on Thursday. Excuse me, on Thursday. Okay. Okay. Are there any other questions before we do the review? I know I kind of talked a lot there. Good question, June. Excuse me. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put everybody into the private Zoom rooms. If you have questions about writing 3, then you can stay in your private room. If not, then you can go. Okay. So let me go ahead and do that now. Okay. Hello, Unyang. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Do you have any?
Yeah, the bonus point.
Okay, let me grab your. Let me pull up your writing here. Hold on. Let me double check. Okay. Bonus points. Okay, so I was so excited to be able to go to Europe, where I had dreamed of going when I was 14 years old, because there is no shower room on the plane. So this is not a sentence.
Ah,
Remember,
okay.
when you start, this is. Remember when we studied complex sentences? Uh,
Yeah.
when you start a clause, right? This is a clause.
Yeah.
When you start it with because, although, even though, the those words that are like subordinating conjunctions,
Ah,
that means you're making a dependent clause, which means you need to have after that you need to have a comma and independent clause,
ah,
right? So it's not a proper sentence. So I can't give you points for it because you didn't. Uh, I mean, you use the grammar correctly, but it's the sentence is not correct. So it's actually not a sentence.
ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have any other questions?
No, I'm done.
Okay. Did you? I did want to ask you. Did you understand all the C's over the breakfast and tea?
Uh, because of capital one.
Yeah. So
Uh,
so English breakfast. I know what you mean. It is like a. It is famous, right?
yeah.
But it's not unique enough to have all capital
Mm,
letters like that. That's the only reason. Because if you go to different restaurants, they will have their own English breakfast, a meal, dish, but it's just so common that we don't give it a
mm,
unique name. It's like
uh,
kimchi. Like kimchi is a unique name, or it's not a unique name. It's just very common, right? Because
right.
there are many kinds of actual kimchi.
Mm,
Okay,
okay.
okay, but good writing otherwise though. Any other no other questions?
Yep. No.
Okay,
No questions.
okay, very nicely done. Good writing here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. Hello, Unsan. Do you have a question? Hello.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a question about writing 3?
No, I don't have.
Oh, okay. Do you have a question about something else?
Uh, I have question about team project.
Okay.
I do my own subject, and our team members can choose their own subject one by one.
Yes. The important thing is that there's in the project, right? There are
Yes.
there are different roles,
Yes.
right? So there's the role of the reporter,
Yes.
the role of the interviewer.
Yes.
There's the role of the what's it called? Um, what's the name of it? Opinion
Yes.
person.
Analyze.
Yeah, yeah. And then there's also the analyst, right? So there's those 4 different roles. So how many members are in your group?
We have 4 members.
4 members. Okay. So each member has to pick one of those, which means you can't have 2 reporters,
Yes.
right? So if you're the reporter, no other member can be a reporter.
Yes.
Okay.
Ah.
And it's the same is true with the subject. So if your subject is, let's say your subject is culture, or like well, let's say like amusement parks in Korea or
Yes.
amusement parks in
Yes.
Seoul. If that's your subject, nobody else in your group can do that.
Ah. Okay.
Okay. And
Thank you.
the only reason for that is because I don't want. The only reason I make that rule is so that students don't you know, I know most students won't copy, but you know, some students are really good and nice, and they feel bad, and they feel like they have to help other students that are just not trying as hard. Uh, so, but most students don't have that problem. So I'm just making it clear that your subject is different from your partner's subjects, so there's no problems.
Okay, you mean we have choice another field of news?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Do you have any other questions?
No, I don't have.
Okay, we do have project work days coming up, so there will be time to work in class with your partners and have me answer questions if needed. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for staying. Bye-bye. Hello, Sana. Sorry, Saoyan. Can you hear me?
Okay,
Okay.
I can hear you.
Yep. So do you have a question about your writing?
Wait a minute, please.
Sure.
Oh, can I see what's wrong with my writing?
Did you check your email?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so do you want to know, you want to explain the red marks?
Um, so many, right?
No, you did good actually. There's really only like one or two sentences that needed some major fixes. Do you want me to explain each of them?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'm just going to start from the first one and go through. Okay.
Okay.
So new semesters are always a challenge for me because I have a hard time making new friends. And I know it feels like it can be hard times, but
Yeah.
that is, it's the thing here is have a hard time is an expression. So we don't really, yeah, we could say I have been having hard times, but in that case, it's a little different because those things you're talking about each instance. Are you talking about each event when you say I have been having hard times? But for this one, you're saying I usually have a hard time. So it's something like that always happens. And so when it's kind of repeated like that,
Yes.
you're not talking about exact because you're talking about things that happen in the present or even kind of in the future, events that haven't happened yet. So since they haven't happened yet, we can't be specific about them. We can't say they're more than one, but we can just say that this is something that always happens to you.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yes.
I have a hard time making new friends. The crisis came when so this one is tricky. And this is like a lot of students don't know this, but it's when we write 13 years old, 20 years old, 19 years old, it's the number dash
Yes.
years dash old. Yeah.
That's the space.
Yeah, not space. It's the
Ah,
reason is it's kind of like we're making it into one word. Okay.
okay.
So, all right, not the next sentence, but the next sentence that starts with as soon as I transferred to
Yes.
the school, I was elected as the vice president, right? Or actually, no, this is a question I have for you. This is a question I have for you, actually, because this was not clear for me.
Yeah.
In schools in America, like in middle school or high school, there can be one vice president, only one.
Yes.
Is it true in this school too?
We have we in Korean,
Mhm.
we have class president and vice class president. We have 2 class presidents.
Yeah, but you have the president and then the vice president, right?
Yes.
So that would be, but that's for only, like, your school only has one president and one vice president total.
We have 1 class president and girl vice president and boy vice presidents.
See, that's what I didn't understand.
Yeah.
So you would need to say something like, I was elected as the girl vice president, or a vice president for the girls, something like that. Yeah, it's just a little unclear, because usually in most, I understand they can do it differently in schools because it's they want to have as many people involved in the class or in the school government. But in real governments, like in Korean governments, US government, European governments, they would only have one president and one vice president.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's just kind of the difference. So you just need to explain it a little more.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this process, my classmates. Yeah. My classmates had a misunderstanding about me, so they didn't hang out with me. I didn't know this, and I tried to figure out why they hated me. It turns out.
It turns out.
Yeah, that's an expression. It turns out. Yeah. It turns out. Let's see. There were some friends. Oh, there was a friend. No. So it turns out, what were the 3 words? Friend. I think I was trying to say, it turns out one of my friends wanted to be vice president. Is it your friend?
She's my classmates, but yeah.
Oh, so maybe you should have changed it to one of my classmates. Yeah. Because it's not your, because if you say friend, we think it's your
Yes.
friend. Okay. And she had made a lot of effort to become, again, the vice president.
Okay.
In this case, it would be the vice president.
Yeah.
Because the first time in your writing, you should say, so up here, I don't know if you can see, it should be,
Yes.
it should be the vice president of the girls, or
Yes.
the vice president for the girls. And here, down here, it should be the vice president, because you've already written about it once before. So it has to be the.
I got it.
Okay. So some of them, comma, who found out that I didn't know about it, comma. Yeah.
Okay.
So that clause is we call that I think that's a reference clause, or a relative clause. Anyways, because basically you could say some of them solved the misunderstanding about me, but we don't know who them are. And you explain that by saying who found out that I didn't know. So you did that right. You just needed the commas.
Okay.
They thought I became the vice president to not drop her, to remove her.
Oh.
Oh, no, sorry, not remove her. Sorry. Not remove her. sorry, beat her in the election.
Beat.
Beat,
Ah.
B-E-A-T.
Yeah.
And the reason you have to use beat here is because that would be something that a mean person does, right? When you try to beat somebody, it's more likely it makes more sense that a mean person would do that, right?
Okay.
All right. And so beat her in the election because I was mean. I couldn't let the rest of my friends continue to misunderstand me, just me.
Just me.
Yeah, yeah. Because when it's about you, that means misunderstand your character. But when it's just misunderstand you, that means misunderstand what you are doing, misunderstand your actions, or misunderstand your reason for doing something, not misunderstand your character.
Oh, some classmates really misunderstand about my character.
That's true. But the reason they misunderstand your character is because of your actions, right?
Ah,
Because they
yeah.
think the only reason you're trying to be the vice president is because you're mean. So they're misunderstanding your actions. Because if they misunderstand you, they don't know, right? Because they didn't talk to you, they're just guessing that you're mean. But that's not true, right?
Yeah.
So they're
right.
just misunderstanding you. They're misunderstanding your actions.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I tried to get close to them and talk to them.
Then
Yeah, them.
close to them and talk to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could say, so you could actually change it. So you could be get close to them and talk to them, or get close and talk to them. So that would be when we talked about parallel structures. But
Yes.
because you included the two there, I actually think it's better to say get close to them and talk to them, just because it's clear.
Okay.
Okay.
I understand that.
Yeah. And so the last sentence after solving this misunderstanding, you could say
okay.
the or this, but I think this is better. With my classmates, I was able.
Oh my God.
It's okay. It's okay. And
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Do you have any other questions about anything? Writing or?
I don't know that grammar is wrong even if I looked again and again. How can I get to overcome that problem?
Well, so this is why we do this, right? This is actually a better way of learning. A lot of students have been taught to just kind of memorize grammar rules and, find the answers on a test. This is different, right? It's a little bit harder because now you're trying to use it. It's kind of the same way that it's the kind of the same way you have to learn speaking, right? You're very good at speaking. I can tell just from listening to you here, because partly because you understand me so well, but also I can tell that you speak clearly, and what you say, what you want to say. Writing is the same way. Now, if you really want to get good at writing, it actually helps to do more reading. Because then what you do is, when you read in English more, you start to just kind of naturally learn the grammar patterns, right?
Okay.
Yeah. It's a lot to learn, and it takes a long time. But but if you're really interested in doing it, that's the way I would do it. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Do you have any other questions about anything?
No,
All right.
thank you.
And if I'll try and think of I'll try and find some things to recommend for you to read, and then I'll try to bring that up in those classes, the Project Workday classes, so I can give you a little more, something a little more helpful. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Hello, Sana.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. I have two questions about my writing.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep,
Do you
I'm ready.
have my-
Yeah, I got it right here.
Okay. Then, first, I want to ask about is a firework display.
Fireworks display.
Fireworks, but I found some dictionary, but in there, I think S is optional thing, but isn't it?
Well, let's see. Firework display. Yeah, maybe you're right.
Mhm.
Let me think about this. Went to a firework display. The only reason I would choose fireworks over firework display is because it sounds like only one firework.
Mhm.
And that would be a very boring fireworks
Yeah.
display.
Mhm.
So that's why most people, it's more common to say fireworks. I mean, I suppose you could say it, but it would be a little confusing.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. And another one is the aurora. It is without D.
Without D, where?
Mm.
Oh, yes. So I worried about seeing the aurora. So Aurora Borealis is the name of the phenomenon, the
Mhm.
event,
Yeah.
right? So it's like it's a unique event, the Aurora Borealis. Uh, but you were worried about seeing not the aurora, a aurora.
A aurora. Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because each event is its own unique, or is it each event, because it happens many times a year, right? So each time is like a different event.
Mhm.
So you're not talking about one specific day and time, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Like New Year's Day, that's one day, that's one time of the year, right? But the
Okay.
auroras, they happen many times throughout the year.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, it is done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sana. Interesting story, by the way.
Yeah.
And do you have any other questions about anything?
No.
Okay. I'll see you next week, actually.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Great victory. Can you hear me? You're a little early for class. Class doesn't start for 3 hours. Okay. Do you need something? Okay, I have another class at 4 p.m. So I'll have to kick you out if you. I'm afraid. So it's nothing. It's not personal. It's their class. You know. Okay. All right. I'll see you later then. Okay.